You know what time it is. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee show on iHeartRadio.
Yeah. Overdose. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They gon' have it lit up. Yeah, you know, it's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They got the airways popping every city across the globe. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They gon' have it lit up. Yeah, you know, it's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They got the airways popping every city across the globe. You know him as a Thor actor, Kevin D. Bitten. 360 twice jam, how he keep winning. And you know the baddest actress, Nikee won. She so bad you walking past, she had you speaking foreign. If you ain't tuning in, this your reality check. You might miss out on your favorite star celebrity guest. When they celebrate, what you do? You get the bell, yeah. During Kevin's corner, get inspired and encouraged, yeah. Bend them corners while you listen, but don't swerve. Find out what's getting on Nikee nerves. What's bothering Nikee? What's bothering Nick? What's bothering Nikee? What's bothering Nick? Keep on playing. Me and Kevin Goose and we gon' get you hit. Yo, check us out on social media. In your mobile phone, we everywhere. You other stations played out like a ringtone. Follow me like Bino, R-E-M-E-Y. Bino Remy. Pop like Semi. And my flow hotter. Thicker semi. Been doing this since I scraped up pennies. But back to the subject, Kevin Nikee.
Man, I'm like super excited. Man, I'm so happy. I am.
You happy?
Yes. That's awesome.
Why are you happy if you know it? You ain't clap your hands. Okay, all right. That's the sign. You got to clap your hands.
That's the sign, right?
You know
there.
what? You know what?
What?
If you're happy and you know it, you clap your hands or a sign, or it's a sign that you're a gangster.
Yeah.
Cause you know how gangsters be talking. Like, remember Kevin Hart said, gangsters like, if you don't stop messing with me, I'm telling you, I'm going to get up in your mouth.
No. It's the other thing.
I got you. It's the happy if you know it, right?
It's the happy if you know it. Clap your hands.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we are back. Back. We are back for another exciting show, another exciting episode, another exciting week of conversation. It's just going to be the works that we bring it every week.
I know.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good.
Or how the little kid said, the next one's gonna be gooder than the last one. That's how little kids. The next one's gonna be gooder. Yeah.
Yeah, I love them when they're about, I would say, between 2 to 5.
Well, 2 when they got too much energy. I can't take it.
Yeah, when they're like 2 to 5, because they be talking and just be listening to them. They don't know what they be talking about. And they just be talking and they just sound so sweet and innocent until they become teenagers.
I know. Then they become opinionated, rebellious, and hard-headed.
Oh, my God.
Think they grown. They
got so much to say.
I know. They got too much to say.
Oh, my God. When they become teenagers, they got so much to say. But when they're small, it's like you can show them anything, and their little imaginations just run with it. And I think they are so cute. Just like, not to say that children are animals, but just like little puppies. You love them when they're really, 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 really small, and they got the little puppy breath, and they be walking around, falling over everything. But when they get bigger, man, I don't know.
They eating up the couch,
eating up
your shoes. Tearing up the trash.
Oh, my goodness.
And be looking at you with them ears down. Somebody, I ain't do it.
Exactly.
And they're the only one in the house.
Only one in the house.
But anyway. Yeah, man. So, we are excited. We're excited. So I'm actor Kevin D. Benton.
And I'm actress Nikee Warren.
And we are back and we are excited for another, just another week, man. It's always good to be back.
It is.
Yeah, man. It symbolizes that you made it through some stuff. It symbolizes that you accomplished some stuff. And look, we're going to talk about some of that stuff. So there's always a lot going on. Always a lot to talk about. So without further ado, and with that being said, it is now time for the many adventures of Kevin and Nikee.
Okay. Yes. What is it? That's the crowd. The extended crowd.
The crowd didn't want to let it go. Yeah.
Yes.
So what's going on in Nikee's world? There was some things going on in Nikee's world.
It was a lot of things going on in Nikee's world, and I'm super excited to tell you guys about it. I finally, you know, we've been in this quarantine for a while, and a lot of things have been shut down, including filming. And like we talked about last week, there's only so many times you can go to the mirror and do a monologue before you start looking like the monologue and different things like that. So finally, my time came up for me to shoot my scene in the horror feature film that we've been telling you guys about. Kev shot his part last year.
A year ago,
He shot his part last year, and I was supposed to have shot my part last year, but of course the quarantine and everything came in, so I didn't get a chance to shoot my part. But now I have done it, and I did it over the weekend, and man, let me tell you, it was awesome. It was awesome. It was phenomenal, and it was great to be back on set in front of that camera. Oh my goodness, it was so great. It was so good. I think something came over me.
But something came over you.
You
definitely pulled off the scene.
Yeah,
and
because I was excited.
Yeah, you pulled off the scene. You pulled it off very, very authentic and believable actress Nikee wore in fashion.
Yes.
And once again, it was just great to be on set. Seemed like everybody was having a good time.
It was, yeah.
But we were also being professional and being serious and trying to, get that shot. So, I mean, I was just there to help out in any way I can, support. And I had equally as much fun. Like I said, just something about being back on set. The magic that takes place on set. Being back in the acting atmosphere and hearing the acting terminology. It's just like you're back in that zone. You're back in that element. You're back in that, you want to call it escape. You're back in your positive addiction. And man, to see it all come together.
I didn't want to let it go.
Yeah, it's hard.
It was one of them things where you be like, you know how they be like, back to you one. I didn't care how many times they said back to you one. I didn't care. I was just happy. I was just happy.
So can you talk a little bit about what you had to do during this? I
don't want to give it away.
Well, you won't give it away if you tell what you had to do.
All right. Well, okay. Can I say I had to die?
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay. Well,
but they don't know.
Okay.
Nobody.
How about this? I had to die, but I'll be back.
You'll be back.
I'll be back. But, when you're in the quarantine, you work on things and you work on things. So my dying scene was one of those things that I really wanted to work on.
Right.
Because you have to make it believable. Right. And I really, really, really worked on that over the quarantine period. Well, we're still in the quarantine, but I really, really worked on that because I wanted to get it right. And it came out just how I liked it. Just how I liked it. The directors were happy. You were happy. Everybody was happy. And it was just phenomenal.
Yeah,
it was just phenomenal.
And your scene partners, I mean, it was such a cohesion. Everybody kind of played off one another, bounced off one another, fed off each other's energy, and it made for a very, very beautiful scene. And I'm going to tell you, when that thing is edited and put back together, it's going to be an awesome, powerful, emotional scene to watch. But her character will be back. We can't tell you how she's going to be back just yet, but she will be back. And we're not talking about the Terminator, but she will be back.
And I want to see if y'all can recognize me.
Okay, yeah.
I want to see if y'all. Now, I told you guys that I had to die, but I didn't tell you how I died. So I want to see.
Or what you was going to look like while you was dying.
Exactly. So I want to see if you guys can pick me out.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be able to pick you out.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure, I'm
pretty sure, but I'm just saying.
You're going to look.
Don't tell them.
You're going to look disguised.
Yeah.
You're going to look disguised because the makeup, the special effects, and things like that. So it's gonna be awesome. It was great. It was fun, man. And then I had couple of my buddies come in and be extras in the scene, and they just loved it. They had a great time. my friend's son actually flew in from North Carolina to be a part of it. That's
nice,
how bad
nice,
he wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah, he was like, I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
he's ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah, and I remember when he was in Philly maybe like 6 months ago to a year, and, you know, I took him around the studio to meet the director and to look at, you know, some of the costumes, and he walked out of there saying, I want to be an actor. I want to be an actor, you know.
Yes.
So
it rubs off.
Yeah, but you know what though, and that's what we do. That's what you and I do. While we're pursuing our dream goals, aspirations, you know, operating in our profession, what we've been called to do. We want to say for such a time as this, we're not too busy to mentor somebody, and you don't know, you know, the effect that it can have on somebody just by showing them something.
Yeah.
What fires it can light by showing them something.
Yeah.
And I remember, you know, working with this. I was talking to this one little kid, and you know, you try to school the young boys. They got smart mouths. They think they tough. You know what I'm saying, and all that other stuff. And it would seem like, you know, the connection wasn't going in the right direction. So, you know, me being the adult, you know, I kept the level head, say, hey, man, when you get yourself together, hey, we can continue to talk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Deep down inside, I wanted to knock him out, but I couldn't because, you know, that's how I felt. But I said, you know, when you get yourself together, we can continue to talk. So we got to talking. Next thing I know, we got to talking for 2 hours in a positive way because I started showing him my pictures of me and Kevin Hart, me and Hawthorne Jane, you know, the stuff, you know, what it meant to be an actor. And he had so much questions. And by the time we got finished our conversation, he knew what a monologue was, a slate was. He knew what a scene was. He knew some of the things. And he walked out of there and said, I want to be an actor.
That's right.
But you never know how you could have taken the scheduled path of someone going in a negative direction, and now you have propelled them into a positive direction because of something you shared. Because by me showing him pictures of me and Kay Hart and, you know, some of the awesome people I've had a chance to shake hands with, work with on set, I gave him what you call evidence.
Yes.
Because Mr. Kev just wasn't talking about being an actor. He was showing me that he was an actor.
Right.
And, you know, these kids may never get the chance to sit down and talk to a Kevin Hart up close, but they can talk to a Kevin D. Benton or actress Nikee Warren. And so, you know, when you invite, hey, young man, hey, how would you like to be an extra? Or they get to see what goes into it. And you never know what fires that lights in a person. You know what I mean?
And you don't. You don't. So what you did, you dropped that seed.
Yeah.
You dropped that seed, and it may not, you know, bloom right then and there, but it's going to bloom, and he's going to remember you. He's going to remember. Man, I remember I was talking to Mr. Kev, and he showed me this, and turned my life around. You never know how things come around. That boomerang effect. You never know how it come around. He's going to remember you. He's going to remember you, and he's going to remember the conversation that y'all had.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it may be a year or two from now, but trust me, he going to remember because you gave him an option.
An option.
You know
a positive option.
Yeah, you either going to do this and die, or you going to do this and live. Now, which one do you want?
Right.
You know, you have an option. And that's what these young people don't understand. You got options. You don't have to do that.
Right. It's just that they need somebody like us to show them the option. Yeah. Because a lot of times they don't believe that it's possible until someone who they can talk to and touch can show them. You see what I'm saying? When you see Kevin Hart on TV, you know what I'm saying? That's inspiring. That's motivational. That's encouraging. It does that for me. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, when you get the chance to connect with him, we took pictures with him, it takes with that inspiration and motivation and encouragement to the next level because you got a chance to not only touch him and talk to him, but then you got the chance to see him work from a knowing standpoint. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And so, you know, you never know what you're doing when you take the time to just show somebody and just not tell somebody. Because when they watch those characters on Disney, on TV, they seem far away. Yeah. But, you know, Kevin and Nikee is, you know, it's close when you can be on set with us and touch us and talk to us. Very good. And say, hey, Miss Nick, what did he mean by Back to Your One? Very good. And you can explain to them. And they like, wow, man, I think I want to be an actor.
And the fact that they can just very good point, because they do seem far away.
They far away.
They do seem far away. These kids want somebody they can reach out and talk to now. Yeah. So that's a very good point that you brought up. Very good point. Yeah. They want to be able to pick up their phone and say, hey, Mr. Kev, I'm going out for this audition. Give me some pointers. Right. You know what I mean? So that I know what to do when I get there. What kind of questions should I ask? Like, I learned from you. Mm-hmm. I learned from you way back. When you go into an audition, ask what the point of view is. Right. So that you know where to look. Am I supposed to look in the camera? Am I supposed to look over there? Am I supposed, I learned that from you. Because before, I was going in and I was just all over the place. Nailing the audition, but just everywhere. So I learned from you. Ask them so that they know, so let them place you. Some people don't know that. Right. I didn't know that, but I know that now. Right. So I go in every time I go in, I say, "Where's my point of view? Who am I looking at?" Right. You know what I mean? That's very important.
Absolutely. And to that point, we had an audition.
Yes.
We had an audition this past weekend, and that was the first question we went in there and asked. Mm-hmm. Where's my point of view? Yeah. Do you want me looking into the camera, or do you want me looking off camera? And they'll tell you. They'll rather say, "It's up to you." Mm-hmm. Or I want you looking off camera. But, it speaks to your level of professionalism. And sometimes the director may say, do you have any questions? Well, there should be at least one question, one or two that you should ask. Yeah. Even if it's something that has to do with the script analysis that you did before you got there. If it's a cold read, you definitely should have a couple questions. What is the time frame? How old is my character? What's his race? Does he have a mother and a father? All those play a role in how you're going to play that character, even if it's not listed in the script. Right. Those are those abstracts that contribute to the scene and to the character. So you should have some question, at least one or two. Yeah. But that first one should be, where do you want my island? At least one of the first ones. Right. So we did really, really well. I got a positive reaction after my audition. Yeah. I was outside the room when you was doing yours. Yeah. I was looking at them. You got a positive reaction, positive comments, positive feedback. And so, I was going to say now we sit back and wait, but we sit back and wait for that as we keep moving forward.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Right. After your audition, let it go. You got to go to the next one.
Never stop to say, okay, I'm going to wait to hear from them.
Yeah, you got to keep moving.
Keep moving.
Whether you get it or you don't, you keep moving.
Because what if they take a whole year to call you?
That's right.
Because we had one of our guests who said that.
Yeah, that's right.
We had one of our guests who said that. As a matter of fact, we had a guest on our show in Mulan.
Right.
And he said it took them a year or two to call him. He had forgotten about it. Remember he said that?
That was Chan. Yeah, he said that.
And so you just gotta keep moving.
You gotta keep moving. You gotta can't stop. Let it go. Let it go.
Can't hold on to it anymore. Let it go. Let it go.
Oh, y'all saw Frozen too. Stop playing. Anyway.
So I called Kev on the phone. This is gonna crack you guys up. I called Kev on the phone. I had gotten a request to submit for a voiceover. Oh now, here's the thing, you guys. Be careful. Yeah. Be careful what you submit for. Make sure it's different. That type of avenue that you.
Wait, but you didn't submit for this. They contacted you.
They contacted me.
So that's different.
I did not submit. I got contacted to, do a voiceover, and they wanted me to submit my voice for a particular cartoon. Mm-hmm. And this particular cartoon, was the cartoon for the adult world, the adult film world, the adult cartoon. What is it? Explicit? Yeah. Explicit world. I had to turn that down. Yeah. Yeah, you can't take everything. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, I remember when I was little. Remember that cartoon, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Yeah. We thought Jessica Rabbit, we had to cover our eyes with Jessica Rabbit. And she had clothes on. She was voluptuous, but she had clothes on. Yeah. And we thought we had to we thought we was watching something bad. You know what I'm saying?
But this here, you know, this...
Well, they going to another level.
This is to another level. This is the type of cartoon that you go into the explicit store for those of you who are on that level and you purchase the cartoon. But what you will not be hearing is Nikee Warren's voice on any explicits.
I got you.
So I had to turn that down.
All right, that's right. There you go.
Turn that down.
That's it, man.
I had to turn that down.
That's
You won't be hearing me.
That's right. We gotta have standards, you know?
Yes. You won't be hearing me. I'm sorry. That's one thing I had to turn down.
Yeah.
And crazy enough, when I got that one, when they sent me that one, some more started to come. I had to push them back out. No, I'm good.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm good. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, that seemed like one of them voiceovers they had a hard time finding some people for.
Yes. Okay.
You know what I mean?
So let me reach out and see if Nikee wants to know.
Right.
Nikee does not want to do that. And they were paying a pretty penny too, but I was like, nope, can't do it. You gotta have standards.
The money will come back to you in another way or another project. So.
Yeah, you gotta have standards. I would hear the voice my mama say right now, you did what?
Your mom would have come out with holy oil.
Listen.
Holy water.
I can see her now anointing the microphone and stuff, putting the holy cross over her head.
Man.
Mama, no, I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
That's it.
I did not do it.
That's right.
One thing about me, I do not want my mama's mouth to drop to the floor.
Well, and I think that goes back to what we talked about on the show before, how we came out of that generation that wanted to make our parents proud. And how, remember we said we still live with that consciousness.
Yeah.
And that's part of that consciousness. We don't want to do anything to dishonor our family, a la our main man, Pots and Pans from Mulan, Chang.
Yeah.
You know, Chang talked about that. You know, we want to honor our family. We want to make them proud. We don't want to disappoint them or bring dishonor to our family. Something that this generation really needs to catch on to. And but we came out of that generation that even when you went outside to play, you didn't want no bad news to come back to your door and embarrass your family because you got labeled, oh, those are the Warren kids or those are the Benton kids, and you didn't want that. And it was a level of dishonor in the neighborhood if something like that happened. And we still live with that consciousness. That doesn't mean that we're perfect. Doesn't mean that we're not going to make mistakes. But we live. The good thing is we live with the consciousness that guides us, and your consciousness from as a child is still guiding you, even in acting. So much so where you can say thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah, and so that's what I did. Thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah.
You know, it was one of them things where you look at the amount that they were paying for, you go, no thank you.
Yeah. You got to turn your head. You got to give it back fast. If you look at those zeros too long, you might change your mind.
No thank you. I gotta go. Don't email me no more.
And you know what? I remember Sinbad the comedian one time was doing a stand-up comedy show, and this is when he used to cuss. You know, Sinbad was known for not using profanity. And he told the story that one time he was doing a comedy show and he was using cursing and profanity, and his mom and dad were sitting in the front row and they were looking at him. They wasn't laughing. And he said when he looked down at them and saw that they weren't laughing and that they were disappointed, he said, I'm not never using cursing and profanity. And he never did since then. You know what I mean? That's that generation who don't want to embarrass or bring dishonor to your parents and to your family, but we want to make them proud. You know what I mean? So I mean, we also was on set. I got the opportunity to play a dream come true role. I got the chance to play a knight. Man. Real armor, real helmets, real chainmail.
Real chain.
That works.
Tell them about that chainmail, though.
Man, listen.
That thing looked like it weighed a dang ton.
That chainmail was authentic chainmail.
Yeah.
The helmet was a real medieval helmet, and it weighed about maybe 30 pounds. Wow. And I wore that all day. In addition to the clothes that I had on under it.
I do, I love the medieval time shows that come on TV, but I cannot see how they stand in them things all day.
Yeah. And I only had a few pieces of armor. You know, back in that time, they had the gloves, the arms, the legs.
You had every.
Wow. Yeah. So that chainmail was very, very heavy. I was really thankful and grateful that I was in good shape. You know, I tried to work out daily. And I was encouraged.
All that exercise.
Came in handy. But it was so much fun pretending to be a knight. We had real swords. They were real, authentic medieval swords.
Yes, they were.
and it was just so much fun. It was such a positive escape because I've always wanted to play a night. Now, what made it extra special for me, even though in the movie you won't see our faces, was the simple fact that African Americans don't tend to get the opportunity to play nights.
Yeah.
You know, and if you do, you're really not taking you don't take your helmet off.
Yeah.
Because it's traditionally Caucasian skin, or light skin.
And to your point, shout out to the writers and directors of The Spanish Princess, because they have a knight of color in their army, and he is very, very, very visible. He's one of the main characters.
Good. That's good.
So shout out. So we coming out.
Right.
We're coming out.
We see the changes.
We're coming out. It's changing. We're coming out. We're coming out.
Yeah,
so
man.
shout out to the writers, directors, producers, whoever of The Spanish Princess. If you guys have not gotten a chance to see that series, check it out, because we're coming out.
Yeah.
We're coming out.
Changes now. Changes here. Changes now.
Yes,
it is. And also shout out to my other two African American Knight brothers who did a phenomenal job. Everybody did a phenomenal job. Can't say her name, but the lead actress did a phenomenal job.
Always
the director. Everybody did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
And you was the assistant.
Yes, I was.
Assistant production assistant.
Yes.
Yeah, you were the production assistant on it, and you did a phenomenal job as well.
Thank you, Jesus, for that.
You get a credit.
Thank you, Jesus, for that.
That's it. You expanding your credit. You
expanding my credits.
That's it.
It's nice to be in front of the camera, but it's also behind the camera where you learn.
Yeah.
So
and supporting the production.
And supporting, so you guys, when you get to that part, get a chance to get behind that camera and see how things go on, so that way you can make your own stuff.
Right.
You know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what to do.
Yeah, man. So that was just so much fun, man. I mean, and like you said, Nick, you mentioned it earlier after you did your scene. It was like after it was over, it was a sadness. Because I didn't want to let it go. You know what I mean? We were just having so much fun, living our dream, and working in our dream and our passion. It's like after it's over, it's like, dang. And it's like you almost kind of, I hate to compare it to looking for another high, but it's comparable in a positive way that you're looking for that next opportunity to get on set and do it again. Yep. And, and we got the chance to get right back on set week later to do your scene. So it's always so much fun. And, man, afterwards, I was back online like a fiend looking for jobs. I was typing like, I'm applying for this.
I'm trying to work and he texted me, Nick, go online.
Come online, apply for this. Send your stuff here.
I'm like, what is going on?
Man, I was fiending, man.
But that's how it be, though.
It is.
Because like we said when we first started the show today, we've been in this quarantine for a long time. Yeah. We started this quarantine in March.
Right.
I remember it very well. March 16th is the day that my office closed.
Right.
And we've been working from home since March 16th. And that's crazy because that's my sister's birthday.
Oh, wow.
And we've been working from home since March 16th. And we don't even know when or if we're going to go back. Yeah. And, my director was like, listen, wear your mask. The office is open. Don't buy supplies. You go to the office and get your supplies.
Right.
Put your order in. Somebody will meet you at the door with everything you need. Don't go to the store and buy anything. Come there and get it. So we don't know if they're going to shut, close the office, sell that building or whatever. But I don't see an end in sight for us, going back into the building. So we've been working from home and been in this quarantine since March. And now we are in October on our way to November. So we're going to be in this thing for the rest of the year. And it felt so good to step out and film.
Right.
Because, little things are opening up. So it felt good.
Yeah.
I ain't going to lie. I didn't want to let that moment go.
Yeah, that's
I didn't want to let it go.
Well.
I didn't want to let it go.
That's exactly how I felt. And to that point, too, it appears that there has been a spike in coronavirus. Cases. I know I saw on the news that they had the highest number of cases in one day in Pennsylvania. It was like a record-setting, amount of cases that were diagnosed in one day. And so we're not out the woods, but like you said, it just felt good to make our way back to set.
Felt good.
And of course, we're remaining safe. We got our masks. We're doing social distancing. We got the hand sanitizer. We got the paper towels and all this sort of stuff. But when it's time to work, it's time to work. And of course, we've already, everybody has already taken the test.
Right.
And everything has come back negative.
You've taken it quite a few times.
So
we've taken it quite a few times. So it just felt good.
Yeah.
You know, it felt good to be in front of that camera, filming, doing what we love. Doing what we love. It just, doing our passion. It felt good. It felt really good. I didn't want to let that moment go. Really did.
That's it.
Felt good.
Nothing wrong with that. And then we had the opportunity to do another show called Chop It Up.
Yes. Chopping it up. Yes, so we teamed up, not outside of the Kevin and Nikee show. Kevin and I, we teamed up with Sharonda Bunton Harris. We teamed up with her from Vegans Are Us over in Violin, New Jersey. We teamed up with her to form a show together called Chopping It Up. Yeah. Basically surrounded by food, because you know Nikee loves to eat, but it's vegan food. Yeah. Now, I'm on the fence. I'm just going to be honest with you, because listen, I love me some pork chops, okay? Yeah. I love me some pork chops, fried chicken, collard greens, potato salad, you know, what? Macaroni. Yeah. I love all of that, you know, and I'm not ready to give up my meat just yet. Right. Vegan is pure vegan. It's everything is plant-based. Yeah. It's pure, some good plant-based, but, you know, we get to test some of the food out.
We get to cook it. Yeah, we get to cook it live. And we get to eat it afterwards, just like a cooking show.
And it's delicious. It's delicious. But I am still on the fence.
I got you. Well, you're going to come over to this light side, of course. Eventually. But listen, let me tell you. Those vegan sausages, they were good. They were very, very good. Yes. It was plant-based. Yes. And it was so weird because after I ate it, my body was like, what in the world is this? Because I don't generally eat. But I tell you this much, the next day. It did something to you? No. It realized that it was a different type of sausage. My body, I could tell, but it was positive from this standpoint. The next day, I felt very, very energetic and vibrant. Really? Yeah, I felt more healthy. I really did.
Okay. Yeah. Because I had a pork chop the next day.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Anyway.
But listen, it's a very good show. You guys got to check it out. It airs every Thursday starting tomorrow. Yeah, starting tomorrow. Airs every Thursday starting tomorrow.
On Facebook.
On Facebook. Yeah. On Facebook. And it's going to be Instagram, all the platforms. And we're going to be talking about, you know, current events. We're going to have special guests. And my favorite part.
Live band.
A live
We got live band, y'all. The vegan soul players.
With a Z.
With a Z at the end.
With a Z.
Yeah.
Man, and let me tell you, them boys can cut.
Yeah, they can play.
They can cut. You know what? I'm going to tell you right now. They had me ready to get up there and grab the mic.
Oh, yeah.
They had me ready to get up to get the mic and start jamming with them, start busting out some riffs. Ooh.
Yeah. They was jamming, man. They definitely going to have you
jamming.
Bopping your head and stomping your feet.
Yes.
They were good. And we had, you know, like you said, we had a great interview, great conversation. Yeah, you guys are really going to really enjoy it. The studio is fantastic. Awesome colors.
The colors.
Yeah, really nice.
And not to mention, we look hot. Yeah. We look hot like fire.
Yeah.
Sexy and everything and cool and handsome. You know, we look it. So y'all, you know, guys, tune in tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
Right.
And you shall see us.
Right.
And enjoy the show.
That's it. Yeah. All right.
So do you want to tell them where they can find us?
Yeah, so we're going to tell you guys where you can find us. Let's start off with YouTube or actor Kevin D. Benton, actress Nikee Warren. You can watch Honor, the multi-award winning Honor, and the multi-award winning The News. Check it out. You're going to really enjoy it. And so, yeah, while you're also on YouTube, you can check out the Recession web series. You can also check out Old Head, the series on there. And it's also on Amazon Prime. And then while we want to go over to Amazon Prime, check out the Right Path movie on Amazon Prime, a cop thriller that you're really going to enjoy. Then they got the Covington Witches on Amazon Prime. Man, they casting some spells over there. Mm-hmm. Then check out Mercy, the killing of unarmed African Americans. It is a conversation piece, and you're going to want to check it out. What do you do in it? You're in a situation where you could take revenge or show mercy. Tune in, check it out. Then we got Revelation Blue, another cop story. When you're wrestling between the world and faith, doing right, what's wrong, and you're trying to govern man the streets of Philadelphia, the tough streets of Philadelphia. What decision are you making? What encounters are you having? Check out Revelation Blue on Amazon.com, Amazon Prime. There you go. And so then they got Single and Anxious on there. They got season 1, 2, and 3. And they also have on Amazon Prime, what else they got on Amazon Prime that they can check out? I was thinking about having all right, so while we're trying to figure out what else we got on Amazon Prime, go over to Stars Network, check out Jason's Letter. Also, check out Snow Babies is on Amazon Prime. It's on many platforms, but it's definitely on Amazon Prime. Check out Snow Babies, man. This movie is not cutting no corners. And I actually played 2 roles in Snow Babies.
You sure did.
I played the drunk and I played funeral attendee. So
go
over to the Stars Network and check out Jason's Letter. Is a movie about the killing of unarmed African Americans. It's a star-studded cast and a relevant message going on in today's society. Just like Mercy and Jason's Letter, definitely conversation pieces. Some good movies you want to check out. I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget. What else? Did I forget anything? You got to remind me.
You hit all of it.
I think I hit everywhere they can find us.
You hit everything.
All right. So continue to follow our journey, man. We really appreciate it. And we're going to keep you posted as our new movies and things come out. So we'll keep you guys posted. All right?
All right.
So we're going to take a break?
Yep. We're going to take a break. But before we do, man,
listen, we have a super talented guest on the show today, or should we say another super talented guest.
Yes.
I mean, he is a part of the art department, model maker, special effect technician, costume and wardrobe department, and costume design, who has worked on some of the biggest titles in the industry, and he is doing it well. Listen, y'all don't want to go nowhere. You guys are going to hear about his journey. And he's hailing from afar. And we're going to tell you about it. And we're going to introduce who he is when we come back. And I just want to point out that the music that we'll be playing throughout the show are from movies that our special guest has worked on in this particular film.
Yes.
Yes. So you want to throw that out there. And we're doing it in honor of our special guest and friend. So yeah. Don't touch that dial. It's the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We're everywhere.
And we will be right back.
Drive our ships to new
Satisfy your sweet tooth with some tasty treats from the Brownie Shop. Fudge cupcakes, sweet potato pie, freshly baked bread, homemade ice cream, creamy chocolatey brownies, and much, much more. Check out their full menu on Facebook Brownie Shop or Brownie Shop 2019 Instagram. Get your next dessert from the Brownie Shop. Your sweet tooth will love you for it.
Urban Elite Beauty LLC is an online urban beauty supply store that serves both men and women in urban communities. Our goal is to provide quality beauty solutions for our culture and community. Most importantly, we want to instill in our friends the importance of loving thy hair, loving thy skin, and to love thyself. Check us out on social media on Facebook at Urban Elite Beauty, on Twitter at dbenton71, on Instagram at urban_elite_beauty, and for more information, go to our website at www.urbanelitebeauty.com or email founder and CEO David Benton at dbenton@urbanelitebeauty.com or call 609-217-5292. Check us out and see what the Urban Elite Beauty experience is all about.
All right. I like that song.
Yeah.
I love that song. Yes.
All right. So we ready for our special guest?
Yep. We are ready.
Ready.
Listen, our special guest is a Wellington-based artist who enjoys drawing and making cool stuff. He is known as a freelance illustrator, printmaker, artist, prop maker, and armor maker at Spicy Thigh Design, who has worked at Weta Workshop for more than 6 years. He is a super talented art department model maker, special effects technician, costume and wardrobe department, and costume designer who has worked on some of the biggest titles in the industry.
He has worked on films as the art department for titles such as Thunderbirds, Argo, and has worked on films as the special effects costume department, Weta Workshop, for titles such as Thor Ragnarok, Power Rangers, Ghost in the Shell, and The Great Wall.
Our special guest has also done a phenomenal job working on films as the costume and wardrobe department for titles such as the newly released, highly anticipated live-action remake of Disney's Mulan. As the armor maker, Weta Workshop, and also played an extra in the film. He also worked on the Wandering Earth costume department, Weta Workshop, Pacific Rim, I like that movie.
Yeah.
Uprising, Pacific Rim Uprising, Weta Workshop technician, and Zealandia, which is a short. He worked as the co-costume designer.
Our special guest is a keen cosplayer who would regularly travel to New Zealand and overseas shows and conventions where he enjoyed meeting and inspiring people to make cool things with their hands. He is known for adding a thigh twist to his costume design, and he is on the Kevin and Nikee show today, hailing all the way from Wellington, New Zealand.
Yeah.
And he's here to talk about what he does and what he does well.
Yes.
And who are we talking about? None other than Mr. Sanit Klamchanuan. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Glad to have you. So honored to have you. And before we get started, we just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the show and share with our listeners and around the world and to share with us. Your work is so inspirational, motivational, and encouraging. You do phenomenal work. I don't want to give it away all up front because we're going to get into the questions, but we just want to start by saying thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Nice. So we're
right.
going to do it. We're going to do it.
All
right. So listen, you are a freelance illustrator. You're a printmaker. You're an artist, prop maker, armor maker. I mean, you got so much going on. He got everything going on but crafties. Oh my goodness. Tell our listeners how did you get started with all of this awesome stuff that you're doing?
So obviously, being born in Thailand, I always loved watching cartoons. And after in the show finish, I would draw the pictures of the characters. I wanted to be a cartoonist when I was younger. Then, like time went by. I was about 30. I was like, you know what? Let's get this thing going. Let's see if we can make this happen.
Wow.
So I started drawing some characters. And like this character I was drawing, it just didn't look quite right. The armor doesn't look like it fits properly. So I decided, look, to make my drawing better, I'm going to make a costume. If I make a physical costume, hopefully my drawing could be better. And then, it kind of went from there pretty much.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. I had a chance to check out your website, and look at some of your pictures. And, we're going to talk more about that. It's called, what is the name of your Spicy Thigh Design?
Spicy Thigh Design.
Yeah. I looked at some of the costumes and how you painted them and put them all together. And we're going to post a lot of the pictures on your promo so that people can see your phenomenal work and check out your website. But there's some detail that goes into, a lot of detail that goes in. So, let's start with art department. You worked as an art department for titles such as Thunderbirds or Go. Tell our listeners, what is the art department? Like, what we kind of know in a generic sense, art, but what does the art department do for production?
Obviously, it's basically divided in quite a few different departments. What I was involved in for Thunderbirds was I was part of a team that did some model making and such. So it was run by a man called Stephen Saunders. He was the head model maker. And we we model make. If you watch season 2, we would have made this thing called Earthbreaker. It was like a big make machine that kind of chew up the earth as it goes. So it's quite cool.
Wow. Okay.
Awesome.
Also, obviously, the Thunderbirds, there was a lot of miniatures making as well. So I had a little dabble at that too. So it's quite cool.
Awesome. So when you start with model making, is it everything tends to start with a drawing first?
Yes. So obviously the concept artist will give us the front, the back, and the side view of what we have to make.
Okay.
And from there we try to make it as close as we can.
Okay. Also, so the front, the back, and the side.
Oh, okay.
And you're trying to draw that because you're looking for the dynamics of what you want the prop or the costume to look like. Awesome. That's awesome stuff.
Nice. And so you worked on, like Kev said, you worked on Thunderbirds Are Go. You also worked on Thor Ragnarok and Power Rangers. How was it working on those sets in the film, in the costume department?
And he did special effects
and special effects. So how was it working on those sets?
It was a dream come true. I grew up watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and to be able to work on that show, it was like my little 9-year-old self was really happy, that's for sure.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, once again, we'll get the designs from the designers, and our role was to make that concept drawing work as a physical costume. So I was part of the team that did the prototyping. So we'll use foam to make sure that we can make a nice and light costume for the actors can try on, make sure they can move, this kind of stuff.
Right. Now, we hear a lot about special effects, and you're kind of like, I would have considered a guru, definitely a professional as far as special effects. We had this pandemic going on, so movies are going to move to special effects more, especially with crowd scenes and things like that because of social distancing and things. And so your job is has become more important now than ever before, due to the social distancing and the pandemic. But what goes into special effects? Is it just computer generated? Is it a combination of costume, on-set stuff, green screen? Kind of what goes into that? We hear this all the time, but if you could just explain what does special effect mean? What do you do? How do you produce that on screen? No particular product or project, but just how do you do it in general?
I mean, we'll take it back to the old Lord of the Rings days. When Wizard Digital invented a program called Massive. So, but they want to do though, get the actual scan of a certain look that they wanted, like it could be an army of Gondorian, and from there they take the individual scan and they can populate it as much as they can.
Okay.
And that's the same way for Mulan as well.
Okay, so you scan it, and you can continue to keep populating what you need.
Yep.
Awesome.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Especially the scan. The scan is used for reference for the 3D modelers to know obviously what their costume look like.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Now, how many hours do you put in doing that?
It depends. It always depends on obviously how quick the production needs the costume or needs the props by. So there's no students get time. There's no like hey, it'll take us 10 hours. It just depends on how much detail it needs and how fast they need it for.
Okay. Now, you've done a lot of jobs. No particular project, but what job did you need the most advance notice to get the costume done for the production? Was it like a year, 2 years, 6 months? What was the time frame for a job that you had to do that took the most time?
Yeah.
They're all pretty similar. I mean, like we normally get a good 4 or 5 months leading before to make a series of costume.
Okay.
It's normally about a good amount of time, but I feel like there's always changes, and there's always those kind of things that happens as well.
Okay. Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
But that's half the fun, all the changes keep you on your toes.
Right.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, once again, of course, Thor Ragnarok. So I had a chance to see a behind the scenes photo online. Tessa Thompson was kind of walking across the set. They had a big green screen in the back. She had on her costume, and I was able to see what scene that was because when I've seen the movie and everything looks authentic. So my question is, say 10, 15 years ago, they were not able to make a Transformers movie like they could today due to the technology. Like, what do you attribute to the advancements in technology that allows us to have the authentic movies that we have now, so much so that it looks like Optimus Prime is standing right in front of the actor?
Yeah.
One thing is the audience. The audience have so much expectation now.
Okay.
It's no longer you can just like costumes or the characters, even the background going to be at least 80% beautiful as the foreground now because the cameras are so clear.
Yeah.
The screens are so clear. So the audience has the high expectations for them to see all the detail all the way through. And Transformers, obviously, with all the nuts and bolts, all the pieces are moving.
Yeah.
It needs to be that element of realism and detail as well.
Right.
Wow.
And that's what's so fascinating, like the attention to detail.
Yep.
I mean, it's just it's so, like you said, the cameras are better now, more clear. The backdrop, the green screen, and what they're putting on there, very, very clear. But the attention to detail is what's making it so much more realistic and believable.
Yeah.
And I think that the actors are doing a great job of pulling it off, and so much so as like they did in Mulan. It was just a phenomenal movie with a phenomenal message, phenomenal acting, and we are just so honored to, as we've watched the movie numerous times, to have met the man who was responsible for the phenomenal costumes. It's like we get the opportunity on the Kevin and Nikee show to talk to some fascinating guests, and all the way from New Zealand.
Yeah, at that.
It really is. And we want to give a shout out to Diana Wang for connecting us, as we always say, a friend of hers.
She's a
She's a friend of ours.
Beautiful person.
And you did a phenomenal job, man. I mean, those costumes were authentic. The attention to detail, the set attention to detail in every scene, somewhat down to the detail of a bottle on a shelf. It meant something. You know what I'm saying? It meant something. And
nice.
We really appreciate what you do, because you help in what you do. You help bring the story to life, because to me, the background is a character in and of itself. The costumes are characters in and of themselves, along with the actors. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's just awesome.
Yeah.
That's just awesome.
I mean, I have to shout out to the team. It wasn't a one man show. It was a big team effort with the producers, the directors, the designers, and also my team and Wicked as well, and even the guys on set. Awesome. It was a big team effort, and the movie is based on obviously a bunch of soldiers going to war, and then the whole film with production kind of felt that way as well. That we all working together to achieve our goal together. It's really cool.
It definitely was. Teamwork makes the dream work, and the dream worked well and bore honor to Lottie Dottie. Everybody. It was a phenomenal movie, just phenomenal. Yes. Everybody, the whole team did a great job, and we want to give y'all the bell.
Yes, get the bell. Yes. Now, of course, you know the pandemic is going on and different things like that. So, what are you in the lab working on now? Like, what are you doing
that you can talk about?
For work, not much I can talk about, unfortunately. We got a couple of cool projects.
Okay.
And this one is big launch in December, but it's pretty cool.
Nice.
And you know, and while we're so honored, you know, to have you on the show, not just because of the phenomenal work that you do, but there are maybe a lot of people that don't know what goes into the art department, the special effects, costume department, wardrobe department. I mean, some people's knowledge just may be simple as being handed a pair of pants and a shirt and saying, hey, put this on, or somebody just going through your wardrobe options that you brought to the set. But when you talk about these big productions like a Mulan, like a Thor Ragnarok, there is some time, energy, and effort and detail and magnitude that goes into these costumes, so much so where everything is calculated. You know what I mean? Everything is calculated, you know, like I said, down to the detail. But I want to talk about how did you start this spicy thigh design? Talk a little bit about that, because we want to promote that too. You know, some people might want to hire you after this, man.
Okay.
So obviously this whole spicy thigh thing is a hobby. Yeah, like why I see it, that's my own personal work. Obviously, I come to work and work every day. I'm creating amazing work for other people. I want to have a way where I can still create things for my own.
Right.
And to able to promote my Thai heritage as well.
Right.
Obviously, people know Thai for the Thai food, Thai kickboxing, those other things.
Yeah.
I feel there's not enough people knowing Thai art out there. And this is the way for me to have that kind of message out there that Thailand is also beautiful for art, those kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
I'm gonna tell you, that's on my countries to visit list, because it's a beautiful country.
What, New Zealand?
From the
New
Zealand and Thailand.
Yeah.
You kind of see it on the Travel Channel and things like that. But it has that Asian Pacific feel to it. You know what I'm saying? And
it sure does.
Yeah, and I love Asian culture. You know
of course, I love Asian culture. You were over there.
Yeah, I was over in China a couple of years. I got my love for Asian culture, of course, having, lived over there for 2 years and had the, opportunity to learn some of the language. And during that time, of course, when I was over there, I could speak it a little bit more fluently. But it's so much rich history in Asian culture. And, I love their customs and, especially their priority on family. You know what I mean? Because family is near and dear to me. It's near and dear to us. And so Thailand, New Zealand, two of my countries that's on my, travel to list. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because you do a lot. You travel overseas and you go to conventions and you enjoy meeting and inspiring people to make cool things. So tell us a little bit about that, the conventions and stuff that you be going to.
Yeah, if I told myself 10 years ago that I'd be able to travel and meet people that I do now, I would say it's absolutely crazy. I mean, I love meeting people. I love talking about costumes, about props. The cosplay community is such a unique and amazing community. It's all about sharing. There's so many people out there who like to share the knowledge, like to inspire people to make cool things. That's what I really love about it.
Nice.
And obviously, working at Weta did open a lot of doors for me. And so I feel that. So now it's almost like I have to give back somehow. I've been so lucky to get to do what I do.
Right.
And I should give back and encourage the next generation to make some cool stuff.
Nice.
Awesome. You have the right perspective. You've been, like you said, you've been lucky, you've been blessed to do what you do. This is your passion. And of course they say if you work in your passion, you won't work a day of your life because it's so enjoyable. But then you're finding ways to give back and to inspire and motivate and encourage others and show people what you do. You know how they have like the Comic-Cons and things. Have you ever thought about being a part of Comic-Con? And I think you would fit right on then. I mean, you did Thor Ragnarok, so it's nothing to see people walking around with Marvel costumes on. You ever thought about being a part of Comic-Con?
Oh, I would love to. Like Comic-Con is definitely on the list, that's for sure.
Okay. Yeah. That's right. I know that's right. Well, look, we are putting it out there in the world. If anybody's listening, you're a part of Comic-Con or you have a connection with Comic-Con, we have one of the best in the game on the line, Mr. Sanit Klamchanuan. Look him up, find him, go to his website, Spicy Thigh Design. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. He has done work on major titles, Mulan, the live action for Disney, Mulan, Thor Ragnarok, and many, many more. Check him out. We gotta hook this thing up with Comic-Con.
Yes, that's gonna be awesome. You get up in Comic-Con.
Yeah. Man, I mean, you do so much. Art department, special effects, costume design. You are a model maker, special effects technician, costume, wardrobe department. I mean, you do the works. What you do is very essential to the story. Yeah. It's very essential to the story because the costume, the background, what's done in CGI. You know what I mean? It helps tell the story. So my question would be, how do you think, given the pandemic, that CGI is going to change production moving forward? You know what I mean? Because we can't do any more boxing scenes with 1,000 people sitting next to each other. So how do you think CGI is going to play a role moving forward? Because we don't know how long this pandemic is going to be around. And it appears it's going to be around, but productions must go forward. Right. Give us your thoughts on that.
Well, what's on this? We are lucky in New Zealand that we are doing pretty well, and we're able to have some big productions here at the moment. So,
good.
But for the rest of the world, I mean, like obviously green screen, you can obviously shoot the actors, fighting each other, and then you can stitch them into a scene maybe. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting year, which it will just force us to work a new way to make it work. Maybe we may have to invent another software to be able for us to stitch different people or different settings together, seamlessly. It'll be cool to see what come up next, that's for sure.
Nice.
That's good info right there, man. That's nice. Yeah.
Now, we already know that you do costumes and all that kind of stuff, and you're going to conventions and different things like that. Okay, so when you're not doing any of that, what are you doing? Like, what do you do to like relax and different things like that? Like, what do you do to bring yourself down from all that other stuff? Like, what do you do?
I mean, like, this is kind of funny. I grew up. For me, relaxing is me drawing or watching TV or sometimes I would go to a boxing class and go for a walk.
Okay.
But for me, my downtime is just me drawing on my iPad.
Yeah, so he can't stay away from it. He said you got to draw on that iPad.
You got to draw.
And it's like us with acting. Like part of our relaxation is acting, and I'm sure some of yours is doing what you do and things like that. And I think that's just so fantastic. Now, you played an extra in Mulan. Talk a little bit about, how that came to be. And I guess the movie is out now, so I guess you can talk about your role and what you did. Talk about that. How fun was that?
So it was quite funny. So obviously being Asian, I had to be the model that they used to send pictures to production and videos to production to show them the progress of all the costumes that we made. And one day I was walking through the photo studio and happened to walk past Richard Taylor, who is the owner of Wedding Workshop. And he said, "Oh, you look fantastic. You should go be the extra in the movie." And I was like, "Nah, I'll be alright." I don't like it.
He said, "Nah." Yeah.
I'll be fine.
Wow.
I feel too shy being on the camera. But then after maybe about 2 months before we shipped the whole thing across, I thought, you know what? Let's do it. What's the chances of making a costume and be in the costume as well?
Right.
So I found out who was the casting for the extras. So I sent her an email saying, "Hey, my name's Sanit. I work in Wedding Workshop. I'm Asian. Can you be in the movie?" That's pretty much like.
That's what's up, man. Yeah.
Wow.
That's funny.
It was the amazing time. I had like a week of training, 6 weeks moving down Queenstown, one of the most beautiful parts of New Zealand. To wake up in the morning to beautiful sunrise and go home with beautiful sunset. It was a dream work, that's for sure.
Awesome, man.
Wow.
That's awesome. You got a chance to work on the costumes and be in the movie. And I guess it couldn't be too hard to put on your own costume.
How about that?
So, yeah, that's awesome. Now, you said that you are known for adding a thigh twist to your costume design.
Yeah.
Talk about what that thigh twist is.
Well, I don't think you want to give it away.
Well, a thigh twist is basically something significant to his culture. Like you put your cultural spin on something. That's how I take it. Okay. If I'm saying it right, as much as you can talk about, what do you mean by because that's his culture, that's his heritage. Okay. So maybe in China they might have sharp blades at the end of the costume, and he might put the ripples because that's thigh culture. Yeah. I'm just throwing something out.
Yeah. And so basically, the whole thing started off with my first costume. It was a Halo Spartan. I decided to do like a tie design Halo Spartan.
Okay.
How if Halo they had the tie team, that's what they look like. So I did that. Okay. Obviously.
Awesome.
Obviously, like I do enjoy the Destiny game. Like Disney had like 3 different classes: a warlock, a titan, and a hunter. So I started to do my own character. If there was a Thai version of that character, what it would look like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And also go to look at Thai myth as well and choose like the mythical creatures that are empower that character as well. So it's pretty cool.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's to me that's always interesting because, one of the things I learned in Asian culture, culture is very, very important. Yeah. It's very, very significant. Very and that's why I wanted to ask that question because it's kind of like your stamp on something that represents your culture, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's also my point of difference as well.
Right.
It was going to make it was quite. I know that's going to make me stand out in the crowd.
Right.
How for me to promote myself as a costumer or as a designer, how am I going to stand out for everyone else? Because everyone else is just doing a typical Iron Man, typical Master Chief, typical whatever. Because I'm doing my own twist on the costume, that's how I'd be able to get stood out. So that's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Nice.
So I definitely encourage people out there to add a little twist to their costume. If you want to make it in this industry, you have to stand out.
Right,
yes, you
right.
do.
Absolutely.
That's true. Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's right. That's true. And stand out you did, Yeah, that's true. Now, another big title that you worked on was Pacific Rim Uprising.
Yeah, I like that.
Idris Elba was starring in that. I mean, that was almost like Transformers 2.0 combined with Power Rangers. That was a fantastic movie.
I like that movie.
I mean, of course, as much as you can talk about, but not without going into any details that you can talk about, what was it like working on that film? I mean, because it was a lot of detail that went into the robots coming out the water, all kinds of stuff. So how was that?
Obviously, our role was quite minimal on the movie. Yeah, I was a big fan of the first movie. I was like, yeah, we get to make some cool stuff. But we did make some, so the white suits that those guys wore, we made those. That was pretty cool. And we made some like policemen's wash uniform as well.
Nice.
It was a little part that we played, but it was always cool to delve into that universe.
Nice.
That's some awesome stuff.
Nice.
That's awesome stuff.
Nice.
And another thing I wanted to ask too. Okay, you guys make these costumes and things like that. Nikee and I have worked with directors who have made costumes as well. So we've kind of seen on our level, the attention to detail that goes into it. But I noticed that some art department, special effects, costume department persons start out making figurines, small figurine models, as well as the art drawing. You know what I'm saying? Do you subscribe to making the small figurines after you do the drawing? Do you make the figurine before you make the actual man-sized costume, for example? I was just kind of curious about that because some art department people, they'll draw it on a piece of paper, make the figurine, the small model of it, and then make the big model. Is that kind of what you do? Or
Well, sometimes I do. Yes, I mean, sometimes you can draw something 2D.
Okay.
If you make it, you can spin the figure around. Let's say if I'm making a helmet, it's quite nice to do just a quick mock-up of the helmet out of clay, just to see what it's going to look like.
Out of clay,
sometimes
clay mold,
Probably 3D is really cool because you can see this 360 view around everything.
Nice.
What works on the flat screen doesn't work as a 3D object, and vice versa as well.
Nice.
Yeah, and see that's why I asked that because that little figurine made out of clay allows you to see the the three-dimensional 360 like you said aspect of what it looks like, whereas you draw it on a piece of paper, most of the time it's going to be 1 or 2 dimensions. You see what I'm saying? And then you got to draw another one from another angle, but with the figurine you can see the whole thing, and it kind of can assist in the attention to detail. So yeah, it's just, I mean, I could talk about this all day, man, because I love this stuff.
The behind the scenes.
Yeah, I love the behind the scenes things. I was watching X-Men Apocalypse, and they had the actors sitting in the chair, getting makeup put on for like 6 to 8 hours and putting boots on and pads on and all this sort of stuff. And it's just so neat to be able to talk to somebody who kind of, assisted, contributing to, bringing that to life, man. And everybody's job is so important.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yes, it is. That behind the scenes stuff is awesome.
I was the same as well. Before I started my journey in winter, I used to love the Lord of the Rings. I'll buy the extended cut. And I watched the making of the movie more than I watched the movie itself.
Easy.
I loved it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll have it playing in the background. I just enjoy how they talk, how they speak about the process.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm meditating in a way,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of commentary.
Yeah.
Huge fan of commentary. I love to see how they come up with this stuff. Huge fan of it.
Yeah. Now, I have to ask this, too, because, Nikee generally starts out with the how did you get started? So I would like to ask, was there anybody in the art department, special effects, costume, who was a mentor to you? Who inspired you, or was it just something that you kind of stumbled into, or just always had an interest in? Was there anybody out there that inspired you to, get into the craft and the art and kind of take it to the level that you've taken it to?
I've got to give a big shout out to Richard Taylor, the owner of the workshop. He's always been extremely supportive of what I do.
Awesome.
Nice.
So he always takes interest of what I do outside work and always encouraged me to keep on going,
Yeah.
So it's really good to have the support of a person of his stature, and it's really cool.
Absolutely.
Nice.
That's so important.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
often all my workmates as well. I work with amazing artists at work. They always inspire me as well. They're all extremely encouraging as well.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
And that's in any field, any profession. We all need a team, even if it's a team of a small group of people to encourage us and to inspire us. And everybody plays a role, giving support in certain areas. Like as actors, we might have somebody we can turn to for plane tickets. We might have somebody we can turn to for as a teacher. We got somebody we can turn to for, various different components of our profession that makes up that small team that, hey, makes the dream come true.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great
Beautiful.
stuff.
Sure does.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's great. Well, listen, Mr. Sanit, man, you have been a phenomenal guest. This has been very, very interesting. I have been educated. Nikki's been educated.
Yes, I have.
Our listeners been educated on what you do. You are the best of the best in the game. And we just want to thank you so much, man, for taking time again out of your busy schedule to come on the show and share with our listeners. And we hope that dream of getting in Comic-Con come true real soon.
Yes.
And look, we hope that we help make that dream come true by putting it out there. Who knows? The head of Comic-Con might listen to it and end up looking you up.
Yes.
So, yeah. And as we say, you are already family, as we consider a friend of Diana's as a friend of ours.
Absolutely.
But once you come on the Kevin and Nikki show,
your family.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Awesome to be a part of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
awesome. And listen, man, before you go, we always like to give our special guests the opportunity to, put your website out there, how people can follow you, how people can contact you. I know we talk about Spicy Thigh Design, so this is your time to put it out there in the world.
Yeah, so pretty much all my social media is under Spicy Thigh Design. So definitely, check it out and drop us a message if you have any questions about how to make stuff. I'm definitely here to help out as much as I can.
All right, and we want to say serious inquiries only. This is a true professional, so serious inquiries only. True professional he is, Mr. Sanit Klamchanuan. We had him here on the Kevin and Nikki show. He's worked on projects such as Mulan, Thor Ragnarok, Pacific Rim Uprising, and many, many more. Man, look, you saw the movie. It was fantastic. The costumes, the background, the wardrobe, fantastic. He's the best of the best. We want to say serious inquiries only.
That's it.
So, so please, keep in touch, man. We're going to keep in touch. We follow you on social media, and we're going to continue to follow you, and you have our support. And, man, hopefully in the near future, man, we want to have you back on the show to talk about more of what you do.
Sounds good to me. I'd love to be back on again.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. All right, sir. Hailing all the way from Wellington, New Zealand. And I want to say it's like maybe 1 or 2 in the afternoon over there. Yeah.
It is now 1:30. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So So we matched the time up perfectly.
Yes,
okay.
we did.
So All right. Well, take care, sir. And we're going to keep in contact with you and continue to follow you and continue success and blessings and good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes. Bye.
Take care.
You for coming on our show.
Thanks again.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Woo!
Man,
that was awesome. That was awesome, man. That was
really was.
Man, that was
really
awesome.
was.
And I'm gonna start by saying this: super talented, but you can feel the humility.
Yeah.
You felt the humility.
Yeah, all in his voice.
He was just so humble, so great, but so humble. You know what I mean? And that I'm gonna tell you, that goes a long way.
He can't put that drawing board down, though.
That's right.
He can't put that drawing board down. You always got to draw something.
That's it. When it's in you.
It's in the blood.
Yeah, when it's in your blood, it's what you do. And even when you're relaxing, you're going to find yourself doing something in your craft. Yeah. But I'm telling you, he gave us a top-notch education on what goes into being art department, special effects, costume department, wardrobe department, illustrator, printmaker, artist, prop maker, armor maker, Spicy Thigh Design. You got to check it out. I'm telling you, I visited the website. Phenomenal.
Nice.
I mean, the pictures, phenomenal. And we're going to post some in the show page and put the website up so we can draw some traffic to that.
Nice.
And it was just.
You know what I thought he was going to say in his spare time? I thought he was going to say he's a comedian.
I know, but
he gonna tell jokes.
That's it. I mean, a lot of them say, "Yeah, I'm a comedian."
I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
You know, I go tell jokes on the, you know, in the theater every now and then. I thought that's what he was going to say, but he said he like going for walks and stuff.
That's good. Yeah, and you know what? That was a good question because in our profession there are demands. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes we can get really, really busy, and I can assure you, when he has a project that he has to get done, he's on a timeline, and I guarantee you, it's a strict timeline. He has to get those costumes done in 4 to 5 months. There's no playing around. You have a certain amount of work that you have to get done every day. I'm going to venture to say, I guarantee you, it's a 12-hour day.
Oh, yeah.
Easy. 12-hour day. Doing this, doing that. But when you love what you do, that 12 hours kind of seem like it don't seem as long. Yeah. Because you're doing what you love to do.
But you know what I wanted to ask him, but it didn't cross my mind. You know how something crossed your mind after the fact?
It's always after,
I wanted to ask him, has he ever come across an actor who didn't like their costume?
I'm sure he has, because you know it's a lot.
And like, what did he do to fix it or something like that?
You know what I would have did? I would have made it tighter. just because they complain, I would have made
it anyway.
You gonna wear this costume, and I'm gonna make it tighter.
You gonna wear it, and you gonna like it.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Well, you know, it's always somebody,
some
prima donna actors out there, diva-ish actors out there
who don't like
that just they are A-list actors in their own mind who feel that the costume or the wardrobe, they have a better idea. You know what I'm saying? And so you know you're going to find it. You know you're going to find it.
You know, you get them asking, hey, man, this costume don't bring out my eyes.
I know.
My eyes are green. What is this? What is this I got on? It's not bringing out the greenness in my eyes.
That's right. And as we say, they need to go have several seats.
Go have several seats
and be thankful you in the production.
Okay, go sit down somewhere.
That was great, man. I've always been intrigued, you know, about what goes into that because, like you said, we're in front of the camera, so when we go to set, we're focused on, you know, our wardrobe, whatever we have to bring to the table, and of course, knowing our lines, hitting our marks, and so on, so forth, and so on. And then there's this world around us with the screen and the backdrop and the costume and the props and you know how they're setting up the medicine cabinet so it looks everything is in a certain place on purpose. And you know, I've always just been intrigued about like what goes into that, and it just goes to show you that it is a undertaking of it in and of itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I know a lot of work go into that, and like he said, hours upon hours. Because I remember Michael B. Jordan said for Black Panther, it took him hours
to put those
little dots on. You know, sit there with them dots on, and he had to get them on every single time. You know, hours upon hours. See, that's why he likes commentary. I like commentary too, because you get that behind the scenes, how did you come up with that, and what did you do for that, and the costume. I love the behind the scene things, because you learn a lot from know those DVDs. You learn a lot.
But you know what? He hit on the importance of a mentor. People to inspire you, people to motivate you, people to encourage you. But you can tell he's a student of his craft.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell he's a student of his craft, man. Like, you don't reach... Like, this is next level production. This is not your, production that you film with your cell phone. Not against that.
Right.
Because people have made awesome films on their cell phone.
Right.
But this is next level, high level production. And... It's, what's encouraging, what was one of the things that was so encouraging, and I believe I'm going to speak for you, he encouraged us he took us to what that next level, high level production is. As an actor, you want to get in one of them costumes.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You want to get on one of those sets and get into one of those costumes, and it gave us something to long for. It gave us something to work hard for.
I can't wait to get on the film set and he has designed my costume. I'm going to be walking around saying, I had him on our show.
That's right.
I had him on my show.
That's right, man. We were definitely honored and proud to have him on the show. And
awesome.
I'm just so grateful for the caliber of people and professionals that we have have had on the Kevin and Nikee show. It has been next level. And I'm gonna tell you, and I think I speak for you as well, Nick. We never thought it would go to this level.
No,
we never thought it would go to this
not
level.
At all. Not at all.
We never thought it would go to this level.
And I'm enjoying every minute of it. Every minute of it. Every guest we have on our show is just super awesome. You know, and I can't wait to get a chance to work with each and every one of them.
Absolutely.
Each and every one.
And you know what? One of the things we've talked about this before. One of the things that I love about the Kevin and Nikee show is we're helping people. So we're even helping people when we bring guests on to talk about their profession. Because guess what? There's going to be somebody who works for the wardrobe department, art department, special effects department, costume that's going to tune into the show. And they're going to get an education just like we did and our listeners are going to get on what to do and how to do it and what goes into it. Even if it's a base knowledge. But that base knowledge is a base knowledge for inspiration, encouragement, and motivation, and for striving for the higher heights. Because what it shows you that there's higher levels.
It is.
There's higher levels than the wardrobe that just handing out a t-shirt, a button-down shirt, and a pair of slacks. That's great. That's good. We're not knocking that. But what we had a chance to do was be taken behind the scenes of that high level, next level production value. It's just great, man. I'm just enjoying it, man.
Yeah, he gonna make me go watch Pacific Rim Uprising.
And
I'm gonna watch that. And
Mulan.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
We're gonna watch that.
As soon as we're done with the show, I'm gonna watch Pacific Rim
and
Mulan.
Watch Pacific Rim, and then we're gonna watch Mulan. Yeah. All right. So that was great, man. That was just so much fun. That was great. Also to talk to the super talented Mr. Sanit Klamchanuan. All right. So that's it.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a break.
So we're gonna take a break. I'm being you there. So we're gonna take a break. But before we do,
whatever.
Is that how you do it?
No.
All right. So let me do it. All right. So we're gonna take a break.
Yep. We're gonna take a break.
See, you just did it.
No.
Yes, you did. You said it just like how I said it.
No. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, it's gonna be time for news and sports.
All right.
Now.
That was good. All right. Scholars Professional Editing Firm consists of a specialized group of academic doctors, editors, and statisticians that keep doctoral candidates moving through the academic doctoral process. The Scholars Group accepts doctoral dissertation, capstone projects, premise, research studies, research proposals, and oral defense preparations and presentations. The scholars offer both qualitative and quantitative research-assisted data analysis, dissertation editing, writing support, and mentorship through their bootcamp 8-week online program. The Scholars Professional Editing Group will keep you moving. And for more information, visit www.thescholarsedediting.com. That's www.thescholarsedediting.com or contact Dr. Tamika Haynes at 281-315-6053. All right.
So now it's time for news and sports.
All right. So in sports, I know that the Eagles just played the Dallas Cowboys this past Sunday, but I got to take it back to that come from behind win against the New York Giants. Now, let me tell y'all something, guys. This game, though it had its ups and downs, though it has its bloops and blunders, it was reminiscent of the Miracle at the Meadowlands, also called New Miracle at the New Meadowlands, on December 19, 2010. All right? So the Miracle at the Meadowlands was an improbable come-from-behind win by the Philadelphia Eagles over rival team, the New York Giants, at the New Meadowlands Stadium on December 19, 2010. And y'all remember the ending. The Eagles were down. They kicked the ball off back to the Eagles. The Eagles had one last play to get the ball in the end zone, and they kicked it to the wrong player. They kicked it to D-Jack, Deshaun Jackson, one of the most fastest, lightning quick speed players in the league, and he runs it back for a touchdown. Eagles win. Now, this game, last Thursday, didn't have that flair to it because it was a lot of fumbles, a lot of some interceptions and things of the sort, drop passes, so forth and so on. But anyway, nonetheless, it was a kind of like a tragic comedy, if you will, that is the NFC East was on full display last Thursday night in Philadelphia. Yeah, everybody knows that the NFC East is the worst conference in the league. You could be 1-17 and be in first place. And so, that's why we call it a tragic comedy. But a national viewing audience was subjected to the uniquely cringeworthy brand of football that is played in the NFL's sorriest division. Yet, an evening filled with typical NFC East follies culminated with an exciting finish. Quarterback Carson Wentz crafted a late comeback as the Philadelphia Eagles doubled their win total and moved into a virtual tie for first place by beating the New York Giants 22-21 at Lincoln Financial Field. I mean, it was an ugly game, Wentz told Fox afterwards. We left a lot of points out there, a lot of plays, but to stay in it and keep believing, keep fighting, and to pull it out, look, I'm proud of these guys. The Eagles improved their, at that time, still unsightly record to 2-1. That by the NFC East standards is contender material, which is sad. The Eagles are right with the Dallas Cowboys, who are 2-4 and atop of the division. So someone has to win the NFC East. Somebody got to win. And yes, that someone will get to host a first-round NFC playoff game. So that's what we're hoping for. Especially in the situation that we are health-wise, talking about the Eagles as a team. We know these games are going to be probably closer than we would like. Eagles coach Doug Peterson said in a post-game video news conference. But it is good to see your quarterback stand in there, go toe-to-toe, take some shots, and still lead your team down the field for the win. Even so, the Eagles rallied from a 21-10 deficit in the game's final 5 minutes. Wentz threw a 3-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Greg Ward with a little more than 4.5 minutes left in the game. The Eagles fell on a 2-point conversion, tried, but got the ball back thanks to a drop pass by Giants tight end Evan Ingram. The Eagles moved down the field again, and despite a costly face mask penalty, Wentz threw an 18-yard touchdown pass to running back Boston Scott with 40 seconds remaining. The Eagles fell on another 2-point conversion, but the Giants' last gasp drive fizzled when quarterback Daniel Jones lost a fumble. I'm going to tell you, it was one of those tough games to watch, but the Eagles squeaked it out. I mean, you got to give them some credit for just fighting through what was an ugly game, as Carson Wentz said. And I'm going to tell you, I remember when I was watching the game and Dallas Cowboys, scored their final touchdown, go up a touchdown and some other points. I turned it off and walked out. That's it.
Oh, wow.
And I was under the impression that they lost the game.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you that you never know what'll happen. And to keep playing, keep fighting to the buzzer sound. Eagles did that. And, you got to give them some credit where credit is due, especially playing in a injury-ridden team. So you got to give them some credit. But y'all still got to lower them. With the way y'all play, y'all got to lower them tickets. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's not paying $200 and $300 for this kind of play.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Y'all only won one, 2 or 3 games, and y'all may be at the top of the NFC East, but it's the worst division, and so that's not really saying much. That's all I got in sports, y'all.
All right. Well, in news, the celebs are out, children. The celebs are out. They are stumping the pavement, pounding the pavement. They are lifting their voices. Well, we all are, because, we're celebrities too. We do our job too. We're out stumping the pounding the pavements and getting people out to vote. There have been concerts all over the place. Yeah. Celebrities all up in Philadelphia. They've been out everywhere just encouraging people to get out to vote. This is a crucial election. They're calling this the most crucialest election of our time, and they're calling it the vote to live. Okay. That's what they're calling it. Vote to live. They got online parties going on. D-Nice got his online party, # vote to live. This thing is serious. Yeah,
and Common was in Philly doing a concert.
He was in Philadelphia.
Down at City Hall. Yeah.
Let me tell you, this thing is serious, people. You got to get out and vote. Vote like your life depends on it, because it does. Yeah. It does. It does. Listen, like we said last week, be prepared. And for those of us who are going to wait until November 3rd, be prepared. Put on your flex. Ladies, no stilettos, to stand up in that line and cast your vote. Your voice matter. People of color, your voice matter. I don't want to hear my voice ain't going to be heard. Your voice is your vote.
That's right.
Your voice is your vote. So get out and do it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is not an option.
To not vote.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get out and vote. Get out and vote. And let me tell you this. If you needed a reason to get out and vote, I'm going to give you one. The jurors in the Breonna Taylor case are speaking out.
Oh, wow.
The jurors are coming forward and they're speaking out. Some are coming out and speaking out anonymously, but others are coming out and they're seeking legal counsel. And this is why they said that when they were presented with Breonna Taylor's case, homicide was not on the list.
Wow.
They were presented in another way, which made this girl look guilty.
Right.
So, which is why they rendered the verdict that they rendered.
Okay.
So now that they know everything and people are coming out, they're coming out too, and they are seeking legal counsel.
Right.
Because some of them said they feel like they were bamboozled.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep watch on this and bring you more on this as this unfolds, because they said they felt all in their spirit that something wasn't right, but they can't go back and change it now.
Right.
They can't go back and change it.
Right.
And one person actually said that now that he knows what really happened, he can't go back and change it.
Right.
He's not going to go back and change it, and we know why.
Mm-hmm.
We know why.
Right.
But they're coming out and they're speaking out and they're seeking legal counsel. Mm-hmm. They're seeking legal counsel. And Kev, I think you have gotten your wish.
What's that?
You guys remember when Kevin said he wished that people would campaign not tearing each other down?
Yeah.
Well, you got your wish.
Okay.
Okay.
We found one?
We found it.
We found one.
We
Okay.
found it.
Yeah.
We found it. Spencer Cox, who is a Republican.
Okay.
He's a Republican. And Chris Peterson is a Democrat. Candidates for the governor's seat in Utah.
Okay.
They put out a commercial together. Campaigning against each other, and it was so cool. They were 6 feet apart, and they said, we are not going to slander each other. We are not going to tear each other down. We are not going to bring up each other's past. We're going to have a clean election. We're going to show people how it's done. Here's the thing. This is what they said that made me say that, yes, I want to cast my vote for them.
Right.
I'm going to go down to Utah and vote for them.
Yeah. This
is what they said. It don't matter which one of us win. We know whoever wins, the other is going to come along.
That's it. They get the best.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it right there.
I feel like
that's it.
I can cross it off my bucket list.
You can do it, Kev.
Of something that I've always wanted to hear and experience in my lifetime was candidates talking about the positive that they're going to bring to the American people or to their political office, as opposed to conjuring up dirt when they was in the military and conjuring up dirt when they used to be a school teacher and was taking, extra 5-minute breaks, but writing on their time signing sheet that they came back early. Who cares about all that? What positivity are you going to bring to the people who you serve? And I just feel so fulfilled right now. I feel so. I'm going to move to Utah and become a resident for a week just to vote. I'm voting for them. I'm voting for both of them.
I'm voting for both.
I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to vote for both of them.
I'm going to get out of line. I'm going to
get back in line.
And get back in line.
And vote for the other. That's it.
I'm trying to tell you. When I saw that commercial, I said, yes.
That's it right there.
Yes.
That's it.
And the key thing, they said, it don't matter which one of us win. We know that the input of the other is going to be considered.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how it should be done.
That's how it should be done.
Yeah.
That's how it should be done. One is it, Chris Peterson is a Democrat and Spencer Cox is a Republican, and they're running for the governor's seat in Utah.
Man, good luck to both of them, man.
Good luck to both of them. You both get the bell.
That's it.
Shout out to Utah.
Yes,
Utah showing how it should be done.
Yeah, we got to hold up the Utah gang sign, the U and the T, baby. I don't know how we're going to do it.
I don't know. Okay, I got the T. You got the U.
I got the U.
There you go.
I got the U. Like YMCA, but the U. And Nick got the T like the timeout. That's it.
That's it. Utah, baby. Showing how it should be done. That's what I'm talking about. You also get the clapper.
That's it.
Love it, love it, love it. And now, my last story of the day. SAG-AFTRA and Equity are going at it.
Oh, my
They
God.
are going at it. They are going at it. You know, Equity is theater. SAG-AFTRA is film. So SAG is saying that when the theater put on a production and it's filmed, now you have stepped over into the SAG world. Okay, and those contracts are ours.
Oh, I got you.
Okay, so you know Hamilton came out.
Right.
And Hamilton is now on, it was filmed, and it's now on Disney Plus.
Right.
Okay, so SAG-AFTRA is like, okay, that contract belonged to us.
That's it.
Now, if you keep it in the theater and you ain't filming it, that's you all day.
I agree. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that too. Yeah, 100%.
It's a film now.
It's a film.
Right.
Because now you have crossed over so that everybody can see it and they don't have to flock to the theater.
Right.
So SAG is saying once you do that,
Right.
it's ours.
That's right.
And so SAG-AFTRA and Equity are going at it head to head, and Equity is like, we going to sue and different things like that. So we're going to keep you posted on how this thing is going to work out. So I guess what the Equity actors are going to have to become SAG. I'm gonna tell you something. It would behoove them to be both.
I would say be both, because that way you can do both.
Yeah. It would behoove. It would behoove them to be both. So it don't matter what contract it falls under. You get your money.
Right. And then
you get your money.
We hear about the transition from people from theater.
Yeah.
They had their solid to film.
Yeah, I'm one of them. I'm one of them. Yeah,
absolutely.
Transition from theater to film. I am one.
Yeah, that's right.
I am one.
Yeah,
so
that's a good thing.
It's a very good thing.
To be multi-membered, multi-union when you do both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, you do have your people that strictly theater. You have your people that strictly film. But you do have your people that do both.
So, like I said, it would behoove them to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would behoove them to do it. You have that equity card and have your SAG membership at the same time. Now, Equity take out a little bit more, but it's still good to have. That way, anytime you want, you can bounce right up in that theater and do that production.
You know, and I'm going to go a step further. Why don't they all become one union and can be SAG-AFTRA Equity?
That makes sense.
SAG-AFTRA Equity.
That makes a lot of sense.
You know what I'm saying? Why? I'm just throwing it out. I don't know how it will work. I know it's different dynamics that go into SAG-AFTRA and Equity. But why is all this fighting going back and forth when, there's different business dynamics. I understand that. But I'm saying, just a thought. Yeah. Let's take a note out of the governor's book. Yeah. Why we unify?
That makes sense.
You know, if it can be done. I don't know. Maybe it can. I don't know all the details.
I think the reason why it's different is because some actors don't want to do film. Okay. Some actors just live in the theater. Okay. Production.
Right, but I'm saying let's say if you're dual union and you just want to do one, then that's fine. You're not losing anything by continuing to do what you do. But I guarantee you, if somebody throws some figures at someone with a lot of zeros behind it, hey, we want to give you a cameo, I don't think they're going to say, nah, I can't do it. I'm just strictly theater. At least you'll have that option without any violation or any kind of infringement upon union status. Now, will it happen? That's wishful thinking. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, most likely not. But it's just a thought. You know what I mean? Because it's just too much fighting going back and forth over this, over that, when everybody's trying to pretty much do the same thing, just in their particular branch or field of acting.
Yeah, we'll see how
it plays out.
We'll keep you guys posted on that and how that's going to go. But I agree. Once you start filming it, you SAG, baby. It's after time. Yeah. You know, so I agree. I agree with that 100% because I think outside of Hamilton, I think another production is getting ready to come out. Where on film, yeah.
See, everybody following suit now. Yeah. Hamilton set the bar high. You know, I'm sure they did something before that, but I think the magnitude of what that play was in terms of popularity and significance, people gonna follow suit. Yeah. And SAG is saying, whoa. Yeah.
Yeah, I get on my I do my stepper to Hamilton.
You do?
Yes, I do. When I get on that stepper, I got Hamilton on because that's non-stop singing.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and music is awesome. Awesome music.
Did the music make you want to fight like you said Tupac music?
No.
Or it make you want to...
But the music make me want to get up in the theater.
Okay.
It does. It
All
makes
right.
me want to get right up in the theater. I tell you right now, it does.
That's what's
But
up.
we'll keep you posted on how this thing is going to play out, and if SAG and Equity going to reach an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but we'll see how this thing play out.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I got.
All right, so we're going to take a break, and when we come back, it's going to be time for my favorite part of the show. We're going to find out what's bothering Nikee. It's the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We're everywhere, and we will be
right back.
Now you're confessing, but I'm still guessing. I've been your fool for so long. Girl, don't lie just to save my feelings. Girl, don't cry and tell me nothing's wrong. Girl, don't try to make up all the reasons. I'd rather leave than never believe if this is it. Please let me know if this ain't love. You better let me go if this is it. I wanna know if this ain't love, baby. Just say so. You've been thinking and I've been drinking. We both know that it's just not right. Now you're pretending that it's not ending. You say anything to avoid a fight. Girl, don't lie and tell me that you need me. Girl, don't cry and tell me nothing's wrong. I'll be alright one way or another. So let me go or make me wanna say if this is it. Please let me know if this ain't love. You better let me go if this is it. I wanna know if this ain't love, baby. Just say so. If this is it, please let me know. If this ain't love, you better let me go. If this is it, I wanna know. If this ain't love, baby, just say so. If this is it, please let me know. If this is it, please let me know. I gotta know. If this is it, too bad. Please let me know. Just say so. If this is it, please let me know. If this is it, please let me
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. We used to do that DJ Red Alert, wasn't it? That's old school hip hop, man. They don't know nothing about that. That's it. All right, so now it's time for my favorite part of the show. We're gonna find out what's bothering Nikee. What's bothering you, Nick?
Man, I'm you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now.
Mhm.
It's a lot going on. It is a lot going on, but I'm just gonna tell you this. You know how they say that song, Lift Every Voice and Sing. I'm going to say lift every voice and vote. Lift your voice, people, and vote like you've never voted before. This is not the time to just sit by the wayside. It's not the time. You guys see everything that's going on. You're reading everything that's going on. You know, you got people out here marching like crazy. You got people being shot and they don't have any guns in their hands and different things. You got people sitting on people's necks and it's a lot. You gotta get out.
Healthcare is in jeopardy.
Healthcare is in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joblessness.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you right now. You vote the wrong way, y'all ain't gonna have no healthcare.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna have no healthcare. Why you think there was a rush to get this woman in office? I'm just gonna be honest, but it was a rush to vote her in so that she can put an end to Obamacare. And you got thousands upon thousands, women, children, men on this insurance, on this coverage, and about to lose it. And the thing about it, you guys seen debate number 1 was a disaster. Debate number 2, I like it better because you got a chance to actually hear what each other had to say. And the one thing that was not said is that if you get rid of this coverage, what's going to be in its place? Right. What's the plan? There is we're going to try this and see. That's what it is. But that's not the plan. You got people who are going to lose their coverage while you try something and see. Right. No, listen.
And that's just one of the many other issues that are going on that's going to be detrimental to our lives moving forward. So, like you put on the nose, it would behoove everybody to get out and vote.
It would behoove you to get out and vote because I'm telling you, we're about to lose everything. Everything. We're about to lose everything. We're in this period now where people of color have learned that we've been taught wrong for years. For years. And if you want to continue it to be this way, don't vote. Don't vote. You want to change? You got to lift your voice. There's no other way of getting around it. There's no other way of getting around it. Vote to live. Vote to live. That's it. That's all I got. Vote to live.
There you go.
That's it.
That's good. That's good stuff.
It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. This person on Instagram. I'm not gonna say their name, but one of my Instagram friends said it so plainly. Look at the timeline, and they put out all this stuff that was done. And everything on the list was nothing positive, especially for people of color. Yeah. Especially for people of color. Yeah. And it's sad. It's sad. It really is. And some people do not feel that everything on that list is a problem.
And that's a problem that you don't see.
That's a problem within itself.
And most of the time, people that don't see it as a problem because it don't affect you or your household.
Yeah.
You know,
and
that's it.
That's
or
it.
Not affecting your culture.
That's it. You know? That's it. Vote to live. Vote like your life depends upon it because it does. It does. Some way or another, everybody is going to be affected. That's it.
All right.
That's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
All right, so we are going to take another break, and when we come back, it's going to be time for my favorite part of the show, Kevin's Corner. It's the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We are everywhere, and we will be right back.
Things will never be the same again. I know you're not mine anymore, anyway, anytime. Tell me how come
We're not in love anymore.
how come
Things will never be the same again. I keep forgetting how you made that so clear.
I keep forgetting, baby. Every time you're near,
We're not in love anymore.
every time you're near,
Things will never be the same again.
baby.
Forget how you made that so clear.
Every time you're near.
Forgetting. You're listening to the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. All right.
All right.
All right. So you know what time it is. So you know what time it is. Every corner.
like in the corner.
Yes. All right. Kevin's Corner.
All right, guys. Look, we're going to keep the high vibration train moving.
Choo-choo.
In week 81.
Yeah.
We're still dealing with signs that one's operating on a high vibration and frequency in life. We got two more characteristics. We're going to go with 128 and 129. All right, so the first one is you handle conflict positively. I'm going to tell you, this may sound generic, may sound elementary, but we're living in a society where people just can't handle conflict positively, you know? And we see it all the time on the news. Somebody get into an argument, it got to result in getting shot or stabbed, things like that, just for example. But if you say that someone can handle a conflict, problem, or situation positively, you mean that they have the ability to deal with it successfully. Some would also refer to this as creating a win-win situation. Now, a win-win situation doesn't mean that you're constantly giving over to the other person. It could mean compromising in some situation, but that goes both ways where needed.
Right.
So here are some points, man, we can take away with one another, for one another. Or talk with the other person. You might find out that you're wrong about your assessment, about what you thought, about what somebody thought they heard or what somebody said. Talk with the person. Try to stay calm. Try to put aside emotions. You're not going to solve anything. We're not going to solve anything if you can't be calm and put aside emotions, because your focus is on behavior and events, not on the person and personality. That's hard sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because you're looking at the person you're having a conflict with. All right? Listen carefully. Do not interrupt the other person while they are speaking. Active listening to what they are saying and what they mean. That's key. Sometimes what we say and what we mean are two different things, and we hold the other one hostage for understanding when what we said was what we said.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, how many times have you asked someone, someone has asked you, I'm going to the store, and do you want anything? And they say no. And then you go to the store, and you come back with nothing, and they say, you ain't get me nothing from the store? Well, they said what they said, but that's not what they meant. You know, because in their mind, they meant, even though I said no, you were supposed to know that I really, really did. Well, you didn't say that.
Boy, nobody in mind reading.
And right, absolutely. So that's why that's so key.
If you say no, then it's no.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And then the other person responds, but you said no.
Exactly.
And then they say, but you were supposed to know. And then, you know what I'm saying? So, sometimes that happens. What we say versus what we mean doesn't match up. So, mean what you say what you mean. So, active listening to what they are saying and what they mean. And if you don't have clarity, do a thing what they call mirroring. And mirroring says, okay, so what I think I hear you saying is this, and correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, you just said this. So what I hear you saying is this. And then they can say, No, that's not what I mean.
Right.
Okay, well then tell me again what you mean.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So you mirror back what you think the person is saying so that they can correct you before. Because there's no sense of moving forward if nobody don't really understand where the other person is coming from. So it's to get understanding. So, yeah, so they call it mirror. In other words, you're just checking that you understand them by asking a question, a.k.a. mirroring back to them what they just said to you and making sure that it's accurate, okay? Identify the points of agreement and disagreement. Stay off the rabbit trails. Don't go back to 1961 when Martin Luther King was marching across the bridge.
You know what?
And Stay on the track.
That's it.
You're going to find yourself going back trying to argue about stuff that had nothing to do with nothing about what you argued about. And then you say, what was we discussing again?
Exactly.
You know what? I don't even know.
Exactly.
Then why we both upset?
Exactly.
You know what? I don't know that either.
I don't know that either.
You know what I'm saying? Stay on the subject at hand. Learn where you can agree and learn where you can disagree. It's okay to agree, to disagree, and everybody walk away without attitudes. Yeah. That's it. You know, and that takes maturity. Prioritize the areas of conflict. You know, prioritize the area. What's the most important? The next most important. The next most important. And communicate your side of the story clearly and honestly. Develop a plan to work on the conflict. What are we going to do moving forward? Maybe so we don't end up in a situation again. Right. Or if this situation arises again, how are we going to handle positive so we don't end up throwing lamps and cussing at one another? You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. Right. Follow through on your plan. All right, look, we're going to stick with this. You know, now, of course, in situations where strangers, you don't get a chance to go through this list, but you can implement some of these qualities. Staying calm, staying out of emotion. Hey, how can we resolve this? A soft answer turn away right. You know what I'm saying? Those are things, if you bumped into somebody on the street, that you can implement right away to resolve conflict. All right? But build on your success if the situation, you know, presents that it can be built on. You know, and normally you build on success with somebody who you're around regularly. But like I said, there's those situations where you might meet somebody for the first time. And you have to implement some of these things that could end up in a positive resolution in terms of both people walking away unharmed and with the understanding. You know what I'm saying? So try to restore relationship connectivity if you are able, or if the situation calls for it. And that's it. So you handle conflict positively. And we especially got to teach these kids how to handle conflict. I'm a snap is not how you handle conflict. I'm about to snap, you know. When they get overwhelmed with emotion and pressure, I'm a snap. Okay, what's that going to solve? Nothing. You know? Okay, you snap, you do what you throw chairs, you throw a tantrum, you cuss, whatever, you fight. You still didn't fix your situation after all that. Still. You know what I'm saying? After all that. So you handle conflict positively. And then the last point is you solve problems positively. They're connected. Problem solving is the act of defining a problem, determining the cause of the problem, identifying, prioritizing, and selecting alternatives for a positive solution and implementing a positive solution. At the end of the day, it's attempting to live in peace with all men as much as it depends on you. That's all I got. Love it. That's awesome. I love every bit about it. That's it. You know, they say men are from Mars and women are from Venus, but I must be from Mars because I agree with all of that. I must be from Mars with you men folk because I agree with all of that. Well, it's for men and women. Yeah, I agree with all of that. Yes, indeed. It's for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. Yeah. I agree with every last bit of that. Yeah. Yeah, every last bit of it. Awesome. All right. Put it out there. All right, gang. So thank you for tuning in to another exciting episode, another exciting show of the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. Look, we love you. We love you guys. We're thinking about you. You're in our thoughts and our prayers. And hey, look, man, if we made you smile, laugh, think, be informed, encouraged, inspired, motivated, just during this short period of time, and look, we're happy about that. We did our job, man. As long as y'all keep tuning in, hey, we're going to keep bringing y'all these hot shows. You guys are our motivation and inspiration. Look, I'm telling you, and I mean it from the top, middle, and bottom of our heart. We mean it from the top, middle, and bottom of our hearts. And listen, keep on keeping on. Stay positive, man. Keep on pushing. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is light at the end of the tunnel, man. And so we just want to encourage you guys and continue to keep encouraging you guys. just as much as you encourage us. So I'm actor Kevin D. Benton. You can find me on Twitter at Kevin D. Benton, on Instagram, actor Kevin D. Benton, on Facebook, Kevin D. Benton, and on YouTube, you can find us, actor Kevin D. Benton, actress Nikee Warren. Follow us back. Subscribe. We'll subscribe back.
That's right. You can find me on Facebook, Nikee Warren, on Twitter at Nikee Warren, and on the gram. Hello, I'm Nikee. That's spelled HELLOIMNIKEE. You can find our show, The Kevin Nikee Show, on Facebook at Kevin Nikee Show on Twitter and Kevin Nikee Show on the gram. We keep it simple so that you can find us. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns regarding our show, hit us up at Kevin Nikee Show at yahoo.com. You got any questions, comments, concerns for our special guest?
Mr. Sanit Klamchanuan.
Hit us up, the Kevin Nikee Show at yahoo.com. Listen, we'll read it to him, get the answer, and read it back. And like we always say every week, who knows, your letter can be featured on our show. Listen, lift your voice. Vote, 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 vote. Like your life depends upon it, because it does. And children, learn how to communicate with one another. Okay? Learn how to communicate. Stop all this nonsense. Put them guns down. Put your hands down. And let's talk this thing out. Yeah. All right? That's it. That's all I got. This is Kevin Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We are everywhere, and we are
out of here.
Yes.
You have been listening to the Kevin and Nikki Show on iHeartRadio.